Okay, guys, today we're working on multi-step problems with percents. So we will be solving problems that involve tax, tip, discount, and markup, which we've worked on all of those things up to this point, but we've only had to do one of those things in each problem, whereas now we may have to calculate tax and tip, or a markup, and then a discount. So we're going to have more than one step in each problem. So example 1, it says Barbara treated her sister to lunch while visiting her in Castroville. Their lunch cost $100 and the sales tax is 14%. If Barbara left an 18% tip on the $100, how much in total did she pay? So we're going to do 14% of 100. Okay, so this 14% is going to be our tax, so 0.14 multiplied by 100 gives us $14. So again, that is our tax. Okay, now we're also going to have to calculate our tip. So it was 18% of $100. So that is 0.18 multiplied by 100, which is 18. So $18 would be your tip. Now, always be careful what the question is asking us for. So it wants to know how much in total. Okay, so first thing, they have to pay the bill, which is 100. Plus they have to pay the $14 in tax. And they have to pay the $18 tip, which gives a total of $132. Pause your video and try example 2. Clara bought a model railroad set that was marked down 75% from an original price of $80. If she paid 15% sales tax, what was the total cost of the model railroad set? Okay, so if they're getting 70% marked down, okay, now you can use the 75 and then subtract that amount from 80, or you can just recognize that if it was marked down 75%, then they're paying for 25% of the original price, which was $80. So 0.25 multiplied by 80 gives you 20. So $20 is your sale price. Okay, and then you've got to find the 15% sales tax. So you pay sales tax on the sale price. You don't pay it on the original price or whatever it was at a different time. You only pay tax on how much you are paying for the item on that particular occasion. Okay, so we're going to have to do 15% of whatever we're paying for. So we're paying the sale price. So 15% of $20. So 0.15 multiplied by 20, which gives us 3. So $3 is our tax. Okay, make sure what the question is asking you for, which you need to be cautious of every single time. And again, we're looking for the total cost. Okay, so to find our total cost, we're going to take our sale price of 20. We're going to add our tax of $3. So our total would be $23. Pause your video and try example 3. A fish bowl was originally priced at $10, but Kenny waited to buy it until the fish bowl was on sale for 70% off. If he paid 7% sales tax on the sale price, how much did he pay in total? So if he's getting 70% off, we'll work this one the original way. We'll use that 70. You could also do 30%, but let's use 70 just so that we show the other ways of solving. So 70% of the original amount of 10 and 0.7 multiplied by 10 is 7. So 7 is our discount. So we've got to do 10 minus that 7, which is 3, which is our sale price. So then we have to solve for our tax. So our tax is 7%, or you could do 107%. That way you didn't have to add. But we can do 7% of the original amount of 10, which is 21 cents. Well, 0.07 multiplied by 10 would be 0.21, which again is our tax. So then we would have to add the $3 and the 21 cents for a total of $3.21, which is our total. Pause your video and try example 4. While on vacation in Morristown, Jenna went out for a dinner that cost $5. If sales tax in Morristown is 14%, and Jenna left a 20% tip on $5, what was the total cost of her meal? Okay, so we have to solve for the 14%, which was our tax. So 14% of the amount of dinner, which was 5. So 0.14 multiplied by 5 gives us 70 cents. So 70 cents is our tax. And then we have to do 20% for our tip. So 20% of the $5 for the meal. So that is 0.20 multiplied by 5, which equals $1. And that is our tip. So to find our total, we would take the amount of dinner, which was 5, add our tax, which was 70 cents, and add our tip of $1, which gives us a total of $6. Almost made a mistake there. $6.70. Pause your video and try example 5. A sleeping bag was marked up 155% from an original cost of $77.96. If Gwen bought the sleeping bag and paid 3.5% sales tax, how much in total did she pay? If necessary, round your answer to the nearest cent. Okay, so we've got to do 155% to figure out what the markup was. So 155% of $77.96. So that is 1.55 multiplied by 77.96, which gives us 120.84. So that is our markup. So that's how much the store is adding to the cost. So we have to take that markup amount of 120.84 and add that to the 77.96 to figure out what the store is going to sell the item for. So that is 198.80. Okay, so that is our sale price. Okay, now for the tax, we have to do, well, this time we realize we have to pay 100% of our sale price, and then we're going to pay an additional 3.5% for tax. So to do this into one step, we'll say 103.5% of our sale price of $198.80, which would be 1.035 multiplied by 198.80. And 1.035 times 198.80 gives us 205.76, which would be our total. Pause your video and try example 6. A store bought a backpack and marked it up 25% from the original cost of $22.40. Later on, Brian purchased the backpack and paid 8% sales tax. How much, including tax, did he pay for the backpack? Okay, so if they marked it up 25%, then they're still paying 100% of that $22.40. So we can combine that into one. Now you can still do 25% and then just go back and add. But I'm going to go ahead and say 125% of $22.40, which is 1.25 multiplied by $22.40, which gives us 28. Okay, so that would be the sale price, okay, after the markup. And then 8%, or you can say 108%, since you're still going to have to pay 100% of that sale price of 28. So 108% of 28. So 1.08 times 28. And 1.08 times 28 is $30.24. So that would be your total, including tax. Pause your video and try example 7. A store bought a movie poster at a cost of $5.53 and marked it up 95%. Later on, the store marked it down 45%. What was the discount price? Okay, so they first marked it up 95%, so they still were getting the cost 100% of that $5.53. So 195% of $5.53. So that would be 1.95 multiplied by 5.53, which is $10.78, which would have been the markup price. But however, later on it says the store marked it down 45%. So if you're getting 45% marked down, then you're paying for 55%. So we're going to do 55%. You could have used 45% and then just subtracted, but 55% of the 1078. So that is 0.55 multiplied by 10.78, which is 593. So after the original markup and the markdown, it would have been $5.93 would have been your discounted price. Pause your video and try example 8. Darnell took one of his friends out to lunch. The lunches cost $174.82, and he paid 2% sales tax. If Darnell left a 15% tip on the $174.82, how much in total did he pay? Okay, so we're going to combine all of this into one. It's okay to break it up, do your sales tax, then do your tip, add it to that cost, and you still get the same thing. But I know that 2% sales tax, I'm paying that on that original amount, and I'm also paying this 15% tip on the original amount. And sales tax and tip both are an additional amount that I'm having to pay. So I've got to pay 100% of my cost here. Well, let me not scribble that out for you. But I have to pay 100% of my cost here. I'm going to have to pay an additional 2% in tax and an additional 15% in tip. So I'm going to do this all into one and say, okay, I've got to pay 100% of that, 2% of this, 15% of that. So 100 plus 2 plus 15 means that I have to pay 100, let me change my color there, 117% of the 174.82. So that would be 1.17 multiplied by 174.82. And 1.17 times 174.82 is $204. Well, $204.54. Again, if you just wanted to do 2% times 174.82 and find your amount of tax, and then do 15% times 174.82 and find your tip, and then go back and add those two amounts to 174.82, you will still come out with this 204.54. Pause your video and try example 9. A computer was originally priced at $211.20, but went on sale for 60% off. If Molly bought the computer and paid 10% sales tax, how much did she pay in total? Now remember, you can't calculate those at the same time because you're only going to pay tax on the amount you're paying for the computer. So if you were getting 60% off, then you're paying 40% of the original amount of that $211.20. So 0.40 multiplied by $211.20 is $84.48. So that would be the sale price. Now you also have to pay tax, and then you're paying 100% of that $84. So we're paying 110% of the $84.48. And if you want to just do the 10% and then add it to the $84.48, you're still going to come out with the same exact answer. So 1.10 times 84.48 is $92.93, and that would be your total. Okay, pause your video and try this review question real quick. This is not necessarily anything to do with today's lesson, although it's obviously still to do with percents, but it's just something that you're likely to see on TCAP as a question involving percent that at this point you should be able to complete. Jordan's dog weighs P pounds. Emmett's dog weighs 25% more than Jordan's dog. Which expressions represent the weight in pounds of Emmett's dog? And it says select two correct answers, so two of these are correct. Okay, so 25% more than Jordan's dog. So normally we would take 25%, write it as a decimal, so 0.25 times P. Okay, so that would tell us how much more it weighs. But then to know how much that dog actually weighs, we would have to add it to the cost of Jordan's dog's weight. So 0.25P plus P. Okay, so that we know that we've talked about this being like terms because 0.25P and P can be added together because they both have that same variable of the letter P in there. So remember we talked about there's an imaginary 1 here. Okay, so 0.25 plus 1 is the same as 1.25P. Okay, so we need to see which ones of these are the same thing. Well, obviously we can add this in any order. So that is the same as answer choice E. We've just flipped it around. And then we know that we can combine those like terms to 1.25P, which is the same as answer choice B. So the two correct answers were B and E. A store bought an oil painting at a cost of $921.58 and marked it up 50%. Later on, the store marked it down 35%. So what was the discount price? So again, they're still paying 100% of that $921.58, but now an additional 50% for the markup. So that's 150% of $921.58, which gives you 1.5 multiplied by $921.58, which is a total of $1,382.37. However, they're going to go back and mark it down now 35%. So if they're marking it down 35%, then that means you're paying for 65%. Again, you can use that 35% and then just do the subtraction, or you can say 65% of the $1,382.37. So 0.65 multiplied by 1382.37 would give you $898.54. Make sure you click on the link at the bottom of your notebook so that you can complete today's assessment. Good luck, guys.